right, family. Listen, I have a show today. I ain't gonna be long. I'm about to get off of here. Good night, y'all. No, I'm joking. Look, welcome to the educational Soapbox episode one. I got to mess with y'all, all right? Because you know, what I mean, making this content, and having these great people with me, we are putting a lot of energy and effort into this content, okay? And look, okay, we are really, really doing our best to provide y'all with the best material, period, okay? And definitely, we appreciate all your love and support. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all also for the replay value. I've been seeing y'all watching the replays, okay? Now, I may not be able to respond right away, okay? Because a brother got to sleep, eat. Know what I mean? I got to read a book or two and shower and take a bath, all right? Got to do that as well. And sometimes I like to go outside, right? I go outside sometimes, right? So if I don't respond automatically, you know what I mean? Or I'm cleaning or washing clothes as well, right? Because I love to clean. Y'all know that. Um, you know what I mean? If I'm doing any of these things, sometime it will take me time to respond back to y'all. But trust me, I am definitely appreciative of everything that y'all say. You know what I mean? And I want to hear all perspectives. You know what I mean? Even it's not about me agreeing or not. It ain't no right or wrong answer. I want to hear exactly how y'all feel. You know what I mean? And I truly appreciate y'all just chiming in and just showing me love and support. Definitely, man. Love y'all, family. Y'all already know. But today, okay, we have a new show for y'all, okay? As always, the link is pinned in the chat, okay? Whether you're watching it from Intellectual Soapbox, Smitty's Corner, or Embrace the Great Smitty's Corner, I can't pin the link in the chat yet because I'm not a mod there yet, but we're going to figure that out. Me and Smitty going to talk that out and work it out. But yes, let me give a shout out really quickly. Well, before I give a shout out really quickly, right? Let me introduce, you know what I mean? The lady of honor here, my sister here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? She definitely inspired me to do this show. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate her intellect, you know what I mean, her decorum, and just her conversation is just phenomenal. She's a phenomenal person all around. You know what I mean? And I gotta introduce my sister Venice, you know what I mean, CEO. I am Nisi. What's going on, sis? You know what
How
I mean?
you
What's
doing?
going
How
on?
you
How you
doing,
been?
family? I've been doing good. I'm ready to get this show started because, oh my gosh, the topics today are literally going to be the conversation tomorrow around the office cooler. Like it is. Let's just admit it.
Ooh. You know what I mean? I like that. I like the fact that she like, yo, they're gonna be talking about this tomorrow as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what we trying to inspire everybody to do when we create this content, man. We want y'all to talk about this, you know what I mean, with your friends, your family, your coworkers, all that. Right? So before I even get into the premise of the show, I see y'all in the comments. I'm not gonna ignore y'all. Okay, let me take a quick pause for the cause, as I like to say. Salute to Lady Phoenix. All right. You know what I mean? Lady Phoenix, I love you. Appreciate you. Definitely hope you're doing well. Okay. And I definitely will check on you very, very soon. I just been busy. But trust me, definitely, I will be checking on you, making sure you're okay. You know what I mean? And definitely thank you for sending your love. You know what I mean? And thank you for your support as always. You know what I mean? Also, salute to my brother Grizz. You know what I mean? Grizz, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Good to see you, man. Shout out to Grizz and also everybody at Access Entertainment and Grizzly Bear Productions. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and check them out, okay? Him and Pharaoh, they doing some big things. All right, salute to the brothers. You know what I mean? Up in Sacktown and up in the Bay Area. You know what it is. Also, salute to my sister Dee Dee Taylor. You know what I mean? She always fighting for the cause. You know what I mean? She always keeping us informed about our people and about what's going on socially and politically. Definitely Dee Dee Taylor. And I would love to have you up here, Dee Dee. So when you get a chance, this definitely gonna be right up your alley, okay? All right, salute to my homie Big Rig Slaps. You already know. Don't go through the Dizor, Big Rig. All right, stay away from the door. Gris said, "I'm loving the platform. I'm so proud of you, Mr. Breast and Miss Venice. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you,
Thanks,
man. Gris
Quentin.
is, yeah, he always up in here too. He be like the first one up in here. Him and Lady Phoenix. You know what I mean? Maybe she's giving you a shout out.
When the love is real,
Definitely,
the
thank you,
love is
Dee Dee Taylor.
real.
Yeah, we love the love, man. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? I even appreciate a little bit of y'all hate too. You know what I mean? When y'all do that, it just makes me aware of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I can slot you in your position. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, check mark. They're a hater.
Oh my.
You know what I mean? So also salute to Auntie Debbie. You know what I mean? Good to see you in the building. You know what I mean? Salute to my brother Sincere. You know what I mean? He definitely
Sincere.
a lot.
We love
Yeah,
Sincere
he be
over
doing a lot
here.
of big things on IG, man. You know what I mean? He be on here heavy. But sis, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to dominate the conversation. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm over talking. I really hate to talk over 30 seconds. Is that kind of weird? I've been doing this for a minute and I hate talking for a long time. It
No,
is, but
you
I really
gotta
hate
give shout outs to the supporters so they support. Like it's a key part of the
facts.
show.
Facts. Also, salute. You know what I mean? To the brother M3. Salute, family. What's going on? What's going on? You know what I mean? Check out, my other platform, my home, Knowledge Relationships. That's the original channel. You know what I mean? Topic. Okay, we about to get into the topic, brother. I'm definitely getting the topic sincere. Right? So, the premise of the educational soapbox, right, is basically we want to focus on, the educational system and just how it's affecting our community, right? And just really, are we being educated about different things that's going on with us politically, socially, even in relationships as well, right? Are we doing the due diligence to educate ourselves on that? And how is that affecting, our overall community? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, when it comes to education, we can kind of maybe not take it as seriously as we should, right? Maybe we're not doing the proper research on certain things, but then when things happen or when a bill gets passed, right? Or socially
Exactly.
things start to change, right? Even within our school system, now we're concerned, right? Now we want to start complaining and asking, oh, who made this rule? What happened to affirmative action? Uh, how come my kid can't get into school? Why are they doing this zoning with the schools, right? We start asking these questions, but if we were already informed, right, all these questions would cease. You know what I mean? And we politically and socially, you know what I mean, even economically, right, informed and responsible, we would know about these things. And trust me, we can all do better. I can do better, right? Like I said, sometimes I barely have time to do like the things I got to do in my house, right? So yes, we all drop the ball, including myself, right? But this is the show to just help us with our awareness, right? You know what I mean? And then Grizz says the school system is failing miserably. Yeah, in some retrospect, it is, brother. It is. You know what I
So
mean? So,
Quentin, like one of the questions we were discussing offline was, is a college degree necessary for success for African Americans going forward? That was one of the question topics we had to discuss tonight.
yes, and that's the first thing I want to get into, right? Is a college degree necessary for success for African Americans going forward, right? That's the first thing that I definitely want to get into. Before I do that, let me just get to Sincere's comment real quick, and then me and you we gonna build on this system. And definitely, y'all know the link is pinned in the chat. Y'all can come up, y'all can share your point of views, all that. All right, we want to hear all that from y'all. Okay, if y'all think we wrong, right, you can challenge us. It's all good. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We
don't
look
be
forward to the
afraid to come
challenge.
up. Speak your mind tonight.
You said the school system put me in a box because they feel book only source but live experience more valuable. Main name for myself with teacher knowledge. I feel you, brother. Okay. You know what I mean? M3 giving a shout out to Lady Phoenix. All right. So sis, okay, what do you think? Is that really a big deal in our community? Is that necessary? Do we need to have a degree? Right? I can tell you my experience and what I've done, but I'm gonna let you shoot first. And because I know you're very you have the credentials, right? And you have the wisdom to talk about this as well. So I'm gonna let you rock out first, and then I'm gonna go to Grizz, then I'm gonna end it off. Unless somebody else come in the room, and then I'll be going last after them.
All right. So everyone knows you don't need a college degree to be successful, especially in 2024. You can be successful just by being popular. You can be successful just by growing a small community of people. You can be successful in a various number of ways. Okay. But the main goal here is, what message are we sending the youth about education? Because they're not taking it as seriously as they should sometimes. And that's a factor that we as a community need to realize. If we're pushing education isn't important and you can be successful without it, what message are we really sending? Because kids already have the notion like, oh, I can be TikTok famous, or I can just play sports. And they go into these unrealistic themes and expectations of overnight success. and they don't have a backup plan. And so many times they end up back at their parents' house or relying on relationships to keep them afloat, or just in bad situations because they don't have anything to rely on to keep them stable in the economy and in their future. What are your thoughts on that, you guys?
Wow. Ooh, she just filet mignon, and I don't know if I got anything to say after this. She just filet.
Like Salt Bay, I
Now,
just added the salt and just walked away.
Grizz, it's on you, bro. And then I'm gonna share after that. Grizz, it's on you, bro.
Man, Miss Venice, you said that you gonna add the salt, girl, make me bloated.
Look, get you
I'm
some hot
already trying
blood
to lose
pressure
weight.
pills.
Girl, but no, but honestly, so I've been taking a road gander at the education system, taking it, I mean, like me myself, because I actually went to Danza College, and then after that, and then so me and my wife we moved to Sacramento, and then I was looking into the other colleges because I wanted to continue my education as far because I do photography and I do film. Um, and so as far as being a photographer, I don't really feel like you need it. So as a photographer, I don't feel like you need a degree, but should you get one? Yes. Um, but and then also, but I mean, I feel like I feel like it depends on what you're trying to do in life. You can also you can always educate your. I mean, and I feel like you can have a strong rebuttal against it or not, but sometimes I feel like yes and no, you need a degree. It depends on what field. If you're trying to be a doctor, absolutely. A lawyer, absolutely. If you're trying to get, because I've been doing research about the entertainment industry, do you need a degree to be an actor? No, you really don't. But but if you're trying to work for like a news station, it's good to have a degree as a news station as a journalist. I don't really necessarily feel like you need a degree to be a journalist, but it requires you to have a degree. But as far as the school system goes, I feel like it depends, because I'm a father as well. So my son said he wants to be a scientist, so you're going to need a doctorate degree, young man. So yes, that depends on you going to medical field. Yes, but I digress. My mic is muted. I'll holler.
Okay, okay, Grizz. Okay, I definitely agree. And when I do share, okay, I'm gonna basically touch on that as far as like needing a degree in certain in certain fields, certain aspects, right? So I love how you said that. It was like, yo, okay, if I want to pursue this passion, I do have to have a degree, right? Because that's how I'm able to get in, and that's how I'm able to basically show my worth and my education, and basically if I have the educational aptitude to do what I'm doing, right? And that's what people judge you on because you can tell somebody, oh, I'm a great fit for this job. You give them all these experiences, and they can be like, well, what school did you go to, right? And then if you name the right or wrong school, I can end the conversation right there, or I can start up another conversation, right? Or I can further the interview or the opportunity, right? So we know that you can say, oh, I went to a community college, and it's like, oh, okay. But if you say, man, I went to Stanford, or I
Harvard,
went to Harvard, you know what I
Harvard.
mean? You know what I mean? I went to Yale. I start throwing out these names now, right? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Oh, you went there? Okay. Oh, all right. You know what I mean? Well, how was your tenure there? What did you achieve there? And you start naming all your academic, success. Now it puts you in a different realm, right? It puts you in a different demographic as far as the career opportunities that you're able to manifest. Um, so before I continue, sis, you got anything you wanted to say before I go to sincere?
Um, well, I would like to add, I didn't say this in the beginning because I don't like tooting my own horn, but toot, I do have 2 degrees. I have my bachelor's from the University of Memphis. Go Tigers, go! Whoop whoop.
I
Um,
see you.
and I also have my MBA, and I got that at the University of Phoenix. So right now I'm back in school for my PhD, and I just want you guys to know the reading is crazy. Okay, The reading is crazy. It's so
I
much
I didn't know
bet.
reading
the
and
I didn't know
research.
I didn't know the reader was crazy for a play headed degree. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
man. I'm sitting here like, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna make it, fam.
Hey, I'm gonna play this. Miss Lady, I applaud you. I applaud you. I'm proud of you for being an African American woman to pursuing your career and your goals for going this far.
Hey, I'm just proud that I haven't got caught up by life yet with no kids, no drama. Listen, we just got to count the blessings. Just count them all
Right?
up, one by
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
Word, that's a fact. That's a fact. For real, for real. But we got our brother Sincere up in here, and definitely, sis, you better toot your horn. Let them know what you know what I mean? Let them know what you got up in here, you know what I'm saying? Let them know your
I'm good.
academic, you know what I mean? Your academic,
Yeah.
success and all that. You feel me? Better let them
Where
know.
is your bullhorn? Listen, we need to have more sound effects.
I got,
Right.
listen,
No,
look,
for
look,
real. Let's
I have,
go.
look. That's coming soon because I got a stream deck up in the closet, right? Matter of fact, no, it's right in my TV stand. I'm actually looking at it right now. I have to hook it up to this new laptop because I got a new laptop with all this new memory and all that, and it's super fast. So I think it will work perfectly with this laptop. So the sound effects are coming back, y'all. The doorbell when people come in and all that is coming back. All right. So I'm glad she mentioned that. Thank you, family. You're right on top of it. Thank you.
I got your back,
Uh,
fam. I got your back.
let's go.
But we go to my brother Sincere. Sincere, what you got to share about the topic, brother? What's good?
The thing that I learned is that when it comes to the school system, right? It puts you in a box to think that like only a piece of paper and a book is the source. But what I found out intellectual that was most valuable in anything was the life experience. See, life experience got me further than following behind a piece of paper. That's why I respect the people with degrees, but I look at it like, could you do it without the piece of paper? Could you still have it been a success story without that paper? So that's why I feel like we have to go off of life experience. Life experience is what helps people go through in life. I don't think that, the title makes you a better individual than anybody in the world. I've seen a lot of people that are like not successful that have the piece of paper, but the peoples that didn't have the piece of paper, they're successful. People that dropped out of high school, they're they're, they're having Fortune 500 companies right now. So I'm a stronger believer on life experience is the best way to teach yourself how to be successful. Right?
And I can understand that, Sincere, because it goes back to the non-traditional road to success. Like everyone's not going to have the same path, and so some people just got to get out here and make it. So you don't have time to go to school, you got to support your family. Some people, have the luxury of going, some people can't afford it. Some people find other means to make money, and they're multimillionaires now. So it's all about entrepreneurship and learning those life experiences and making those mistakes, getting a few failures under your belt so you can have more grit outside in the field.
But what it is when life taught me common sense. Life taught me the reality that the textbooks and all these sources that the vibration in the system wants me to learn, it doesn't do anything for me as a person. Life experience taught me the best teacher, the life experience. What that teacher was teaching me in school, I mean, I took heed to it, but the reality of what was outside the classroom was so much more valuable. Life was more valuable than what's in that textbook for me.
And you also got to remember, like, school is a systematic thing. So when you were speaking about it, put you in a box, that's kind of like the thought process behind a systematic program is to prepare you for the next system and the next system, which will be either going to college or getting a job, preparing you for the workforce. That's why people, in high school, you go to school 8 hours a day, and it's preparing you to have teachers and principals and authority figures over you. Like when you transfer those things and skills into the real world, you start to have managers and supervisors. So it's already conditioning you to function in the real world and gain those life experiences. Because if you're running into issues with your teachers and the principal, 9 times out of 10, you're going to run into the same issues with managers and supervisors because you didn't get the fundamentals when you were in the system.
You know what it was about the teachers. that I kind of like lost respect for is because I really didn't need the teacher to tell me anything. There was all these book texts that I can learn on my own, and that's why when I was in school growing up, I got in a lot of trouble because I'm kicking knowledge to the teacher in the classroom, and I guess with knowledge, you can't have more knowledge than the teacher. And that's the biggest lesson where I learned in life that hold on, somebody can tell me something, but I'm going to do my own diligence to be better and learn more facts. And I learned. That's how I learned life, is going beyond just what somebody throws at me. And that's what the world does. They throw something at you and just say, read this, to try to learn it. But I try to find out my own facts before listening to what the system tells me. Because I feel like the system, like the school system in itself, is an indoctrination. I don't believe that the school system is like letting people truly be transparent and really be themselves. They have to go by a textbook, is my opinion. I do believe that. I do.
Let me capitalize on that
Is
part.
that okay to say? Okay?
Huh?
Oh, I said I didn't want to take it so deep like that because it's deep when it comes to
No,
the school system.
no. Honestly, you have levity on that. You definitely have levity on, my man. Because I've been looking at some of these textbooks, and also too, some of these textbooks are literally depending, and also too, and I hate taking it here too, depending on what region of the city you're in, because depending on what part of the city you live in, if you live in like the hood, the ghetto, you're not gonna get the textbooks of people who are the rich and who have more money than and stuff like that, and also too, like it's I hate, and like I said, I've done a little bit of research. Anybody can chime in, but I've done a little bit of research, and also too, the school system's rates on what, depending on how much money you have, or who's your father, who is your mother, and you make a small, we make a large donation to the school, and I expect this and this and this and this and this. But yeah, um, but yeah, like I said, I'm sorry, I was topic, but the thing is, but yeah, I do feel like everything is systematic, and also too, I found out there are certain books that we're not supposed to be reading, so that's why they're selecting the books that we should and should not read. But I digress. My mic is muted. I'll holler.
Mm.
Can
Yeah,
I
brother. Like there ain't no wrong answer, brother. Like however you
can I
feel like you needed to
can I
get to
say
where you need
something
to
else?
get to,
Can I say
huh?
something else? Or could I say
Oh
something
yeah,
else?
definitely, definitely.
I
Yeah, yeah,
think I
definitely.
think
I'm gonna
I
get to the
think
comments in a minute, y'all, and then I'm
I
gonna say
think
what I need to say. Go ahead,
I
brother.
think maybe y'all can give me an answer to this question. Maybe it's because I went to the public school, and that's why I looked at school like it wasn't a good experience. Because the public schools where I went to, I was born and raised in New York. It was just like the street. It was no different than what I see outside the school, and that's why I was like, wow, I might as well just go back outside in the streets because this is right in my school. The same people that I see outside are in my schools, and that's why I didn't have really much focus.
Now to speak on that, I definitely can understand where you're
Yeah,
coming from when you're saying
I
like
came
the
from a
same.
bad school system. It wasn't a good environment.
Like I can definitely understand what you're saying when it comes to like public schools and the environments, because the kids are introduced to so many things and not exposed to so many things that they need to learn, like sex education and financial education. Those are things, like Quentin said, that you don't learn in school, that are not necessarily hidden but like restricted knowledge type of a deal. So those type of elements definitely are alive and well in our educational system, as well as the things that kids don't need to be exposed to, like drugs and different types of, adult type content, I guess you could say. Like Sincere was mentioning, like the same people in the streets are the same people at school. Like you can get drugs in schools now. You see kids coming to school in Chicago with guns. So it's not necessarily a safe place. It's not even like a daycare facility, how some people may view it. It's more so like you have to think nowadays, like, will my child come home safe? Like, because people are shooting up schools. So it's definitely something. I saw someone in the comments say that they're homeschooling their kids, that's definitely an option that I think moving forward we all
That's what
should
I'm gonna do if
consider.
I have a sister, or if I have if my sister, she does homeschooling because her dad was so scared of her that you could go to public school from living in New York. Yep, yep.
Mm. Yeah, so there's a lot of different options you can take as far as like educating your children and things of that nature. So I definitely agree. Um, and before I share, let me get to the comments real quick. All right. So salute to the real Mimsy Lynn. Salute Mimsy. I'm glad you checked in. All right. Definitely support Mimsy and Mike and Pops. All right, on all the social media platforms. M3 also says he's loving this kind of conversation. Thank you, M3. We appreciate that. She said, "My husband and I choose to homeschool our kids because the public school systems are failing children and only care about indoctrination." Okay, okay. And Sister Nisi touched on that. You know what I mean? She also says the school system only cares about your kids being in class because they get paid per student. Mm. Okay, so education starts in the home. Very true, because it does. And she said, "What are parents teaching the kids? What are they allowing the kids to watch, listen to, and do?" Mm. Wow, that is definitely a factor when it comes to children. Definitely. I would say from my
Suck it up.
experience, right?
Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna let you chime in, Grizz, once I'm done. Um, 'Cause I just want to touch on just like how having the right education will affect your career path or just your path period, right? So in the field I'm in as a tech, I had to go back to school to get my administration certificate. You know what I'm saying, at an adult school, and I'm still looking to do more things in the tech field and get more certifications. So my certifications are not done. So as we are speaking, I'm looking online right now, like, yo, what adult schools are around my neighborhood? Like, where else can I go? And I'll drop a couple of $100 to get a certificate or get certified, because I'm gonna get that money right on back. And once I get certified and I get back in the field and I show my credentials, so I'll make that money tenfold over, right? So whether I learn how to do coding or I learn how to do um, software engineering or anything like that, right? Or data entry, data analysis. If I'm really certified in these areas, as far as having a certificate or things of that nature, what I mean, it makes a big difference. And once I got a certificate in administration, and I let people know, hey, I know how to use Microsoft Office Suite. I can do Word, Excel, things of that nature, right? I can use different, data programs, things of that nature. Man, what I could ask for as far as my salary increased, like it doubled, what I was making before. You know what I mean? Just on me doing that class alone, right? Because now I had the credentials. You know what I'm saying? So we have the proper credentials and proper education. Oh, it will make a big difference. So yes, sometimes in order to make it, it will make a difference. But understand, you still ain't gonna dodge like racism. Like, don't think that that's gonna go away. Like, because it's not. Because I still experienced that, even with all my credentials, even with all the time I done put in. I still experienced that. You know what I mean? And I'll share a story real quick. I was working for a tech company, and this was about a few years back, and Dr. King's holiday was coming up, right? And when you work in a tech field, you do a lot of social gatherings, right? So lunchtime, we all gather and eat lunch at the same time, right? It's kind of like school in a sense, right? So 12 o'clock hit, everybody put the computers away, and boom, we all go, sit down and eat, right? So um, we're sitting there, we're eating, we're having our lunch because our lunch gets catered in as well, which is another benefit of working in the tech field, right? We get a lot of stuff catered in. So I'm sitting there, eating food amongst my peers and my coworkers, and they're like, "Oh, Dr. King holiday's coming up." They're like, "Oh, okay." So they're all sitting around, and then like one guy goes, "Is that a real holiday?" And they start looking at me, right? And then they start laughing, right? And they're like, "We don't know if that's a real holiday. I'm gonna see. Let me do my research." And like they're looking and smirking, right? So I finish doing what I'm doing. I eat. I go back to my lab because I have my own lab and all that. Where I would do like my tech work or whatever. And yeah, I finished my day and I went home, man. And a brother was crying, man. I shed some tears. You know what I mean? Because it was hurtful. I've never experienced nothing like that ever in my life, man. It really hurt me to my core. Because I've worked so hard, to get to where I'm at. So for somebody to try to shame, my people or even me as a person or even who I am or what my people stand for or what I stand for, yeah, that was hurtful. And I knew they was trying to test me because they knew that if I overreacted, you know what I mean, that could possibly cost me my position, right? So me being mindful of that, I didn't react. You know what I mean? You know, one person was telling me like, "Yo, man, you should have said something. You should have, you should have did this. You should have did that." One person was like, "Man, you should have swung." But I was like, "Nah, like that's not gonna solve anything. If anything, it'll just make me it'll basically take away from me getting another opportunity, right? Because now I can't use that experience. You know what I mean? If I overreact, or if I act violently, or if I act, you know what I mean, disrespectfully back, right? So, even with us getting education, we still have to remind ourselves that we're not going to dodge certain social things and certain social issues that people of color are going to go through, right? I can't speak for other communities. I don't know what they go through. I'm speaking for my community. You know what I mean? So, in our communities, are certain things that even with an education, we can still go through. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna let y'all share. Mimsy is really going in these comments. She says, this is something I feel very strongly about. Gonna do a show about it soon. Okay, definitely. Mimsy, you definitely free to come up. The link is pinned in the chat as always. I'm about to post the link again for those channels who don't have it. She said online college is a thing. You can do all your learning from home, and financial aid is a possibility. That's true.
I got
That
it.
financial aid be coming through.
My,
Um,
I got a, can I ask a question?
hold on one
Intellectual.
second, bro. Hold on. I got one more comment, and then you can go ahead.
I got a quiet
She said I
question
got my
for you,
degree.
bro.
Huh?
I got a good question for you. I said when I asked it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me 1 second. She said I got my degree from Purdue University online. All right, salute to Embrace the Grace. Salute, family. I'm glad you're up in the building. Know what I mean? But yeah, sincere, what's your question, brother? I'm listening.
Why do people get like more chances of success with the piece of paper than somebody without the piece of paper? Is always my question. Intellectual. I always wondered that. Like, why can't somebody, because he might just have a high school diploma, but not a degree? Why doesn't he get a chance, but he can still have the key to being successful? Like, I always wondered that for me too. Like, I didn't get a lot of chances with success because they followed this piece of paper, and I'm like, I don't want to ever follow that piece of paper. I want them to really know me for my authentic self, because that piece of paper is just like a title. That's my question.
I think that, and I'm gonna let you know what I mean, I'm gonna let my sister,
You
chime
like
in
that
after I'm
question?
done.
You like that question? Is that a good
Yeah,
question?
It's
that's a
a
great
very
question.
good question, Sincere. I
And,
definitely have an answer.
yeah, and I'm a build on it. Matter of fact, ladies first. Go ahead, sister. My bad. I'm gonna let you build on it first, and I'm gonna get on there.
So basically, Sincere's question was like our third question topic, which is basically, is a college student prepared for the realities of the real world today versus 40 years ago? So Sincere, to answer your question, the reason why people with degrees may encounter more opportunities is because they have a proven track record of success. Like when you don't have a degree, most of the time you apply to jobs with a resume and they say, well, from what date to what date did you work here? They're looking for how long are you able to stay committed to something? How long? Because how will an employer know that you're not just gonna come for 2 weeks and quit? Because they're investing in you essentially. When they do background checks, that cost the company money. When they do drug tests, that costs the company money, whether people know that or not. So those onboarding trainings, all of that, they're investing in you off the rip before you even get a check. So most of people in HR or human resources, basically is HR, they're looking for, can you complete something? Can you follow a systematic structure or workflow properly without supervision? And most of the time when you're in school, you have group projects, so you have to work well with others. It's a lot of basic fundamental skills that you get in school or higher education that can prove to an employer, oh, well, this person is able to complete a task without much micromanaging. And it leads back into the corporate America system of microaggressions and micromanaging. Like if you haven't went to college at a PWI or online school, and you just went to a HBCU, you're kind of sheltered, you know? So when you get out into the real world, you'll take offense at something like, oh, it's because of my race. And it may not be because of your race. It may just be someone lacking understanding, but you may not see it that way because of your personal experiences. So college is a ground to where you can learn from other people as well as become well-rounded yourself. And employers need that, especially when it comes to diversity and inclusion in corporate America, because many boardrooms do not have a lot of our people in there, because most teams want to be able on Monday morning to talk about things that the team can generally discuss. Like tomorrow morning, a lot of guys are going to be talking about the Chiefs and the Ravens. That may exclude the female members of the team if they're not into sports. So they're not going to be a part of the conversation. Work culture is very important. So when you're building a team, you want to have people on that team that, are not easily offended, are easygoing. They don't, cause much ruckus. And some people can view that as, so you basically just want another slave or just want another body with no voice and no opinion. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means it's good for the company culture, and it decreases write-ups and um, workplace drama and different things that occur in workplaces.
I get it.
Let
I
me
get
let
it.
me ask this, let me ask this question based on your perception, sis. Right? So, did I overreact with my whole Dr. King thing? Did I overreact?
Like you took everyone else's perspective and you had your own. Like you automatically knew it was like a psychological test amongst your peers, so you reacted in a way that your personal experience would react. So it's not that it's a right or wrong way to look at it. It's just you have to know when you're in diverse groups of people, some people will say things to trick you out your spot. Some people will make just random statements of ignorance sometimes, just to see your reaction, just to be able to talk about you behind your back and say, oh yeah, well, he's very difficult to deal with, he can't take a joke. Like, those that's how office rumors get started, or workplace drama gets started, and relationships
Yeah, just to
build.
be messy.
I think she may be in the Matrix.
Yeah, but i
Or is
don't
it
i
me?
don't think you answered or did anything, took it too far or anything like that. I would have naturally felt the same way as many years as we've celebrated Martin Luther King. So you're off. White people are off on that day too, so it's not like it's a foreign
Definitely.
thing. Like, it's just, people like to pick on people, especially if you're different, and unfortunately being black, you're different. So
Yeah.
that makes an easy target in some corporate cultures.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Wanted to give my man Big Rig Slaps a salute. Glad he up in the building. What's going on, Big Rig? Also, let
Yeah.
me let me say this. Let me answer a sincere question. Let me get to you, Riggs, right after that. Also, salute to OG Patrice. Okay. Mimsy also says again, let's go back to the home. Our parents allow children to be part of the family team. Working as a team or even loyalty to the team starts early in the home. And then embrace the grace said trolls on stroll. Yeah, I know, right? Trolls. Also, salute to my man Braxton, the Snake Fiend. What's good, bro? So yeah, sincere as I mean, hey, sis broke it down perfectly. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna add the little bruschetta on top. Cause she went all the way in
Add
on
that
that one.
glitter. Look, add the glitter
Yeah,
and
man, look,
sprinkles. Put the cherry on top with the little peanuts. We got us a sundae.
you skipped my comment. Oh, my bad, my bad. She said, I think it's because the tangible proof of your credentials that you were taught in that field and that you're well rounded. Yes, yes, that's true. So that's definitely a part of it. And I'll cover the other side of it. So sometimes, yes, they can have certain credentials, whether they want you to speak a certain language, right? At times too, or certain things of that nature, based on the fact that, yeah, sometimes they do want to hold certain demographics of people back, right? So they may know that, okay, if you from this type of community, that type of community, you don't have the economic resources to get certain degrees or things of that nature, right? So yes, sometimes they will use it as a way to hold certain people back, right? But also in essence, like sis was breaking down, it's a way to see if you're qualified for a certain position, right? look, if you ain't qualified to be a doctor, I don't want you operating on me, okay? I don't care how black you are. I don't care. I don't care if you celebrate all the black holidays. Know what I mean? I don't care what it is. You ain't operating on me, all right? If you ain't got the credentials, all right? You ain't doing no surgeries. You ain't prescribing no medicine. You ain't taking no temperature, nothing. You know what I mean? Look, you can't even do the little stethoscope thing where they look in your ear and all that. You can't do nothing to me, okay? Don't touch me.
So you'll flip out on the resident. Look, the residents getting their
Exactly.
education in there
Do
with the
not
doctor.
do
You like,
not
hold up,
touch me.
you're not done with school yet. Bag up.
Don't
Oh
touch
my
me if you ain't
god.
certified in medical field, all right? Even if you are certified, if you're looking a little crazy, I'm cool. Know what I mean? Do not.
Bruh.
Hey, I'm good, bro. I don't really like going. I don't even like going to the doctor's office to pick up medicine. Like I don't
Ain't
like
no
going there.
way.
Period. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So so yeah, so that's a big thing for me. You know what I mean? And Grizz, I'm gonna get to you in a moment as well. 'Cause I know you want to say something. Um, but yeah, like that's a big thing. So certain things you got to be certified for. All right, like if you're doing an inspection as far as vermin, hey, you gotta know how to get them vermin up out of here. If you're a firefighter, yes, you need to be certified in how to put out fires. Okay, you know what I mean? You're a police officer or a military expert. Yes, I want to know that you know how to fight crime, and if somebody break in, that you know how to get them out of my house. All right, like I need to know that you are certified to do certain things. All right, you know what I mean? If you know, especially when you handling my food too. Like if you're in a certified chef or you don't really know how to cook like that, yeah, I'm gonna be kind of skeptical of you. So yes, certain things and certain aspects of life, I want you to be certified in. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All right, I'm gonna be completely real. You know what I mean? And no matter what race you are, please be certified. All right, especially if you're a doctor. Like I'm really big on that one. Somebody put something in the private chat. What did they say? Okay. All right, Grizz. I mean, oh yeah, if you're a lawyer too, so I seen that, Grizz. If you don't got the if you're trying to be a lawyer and you're trying to represent me, yes, you better have the right credentials. If not, you're not representing me. I ain't trying to hear it. All right. Braxton says, especially if you don't master black stereotypes, them folks believe they can try to come at you sideways like their ancestors did. Did they get the memo about themselves thrown at them? Okay, Braxton. Mimsy gave me an LOL. Braxton also says, I said them folks, not all whites, obviously. As for the ones who are part of them folks, or as Amazing Lucas, and subscribe to Amazing Lucas, he's a great content creator, calls them lineage of evil. They'll learn in the work and streets we ain't our ancestors. That's a fact. We're not our ancestors. That's definitely a fact. But Riggs, man, what's good, man? Anything you want to chime in on? What's up?
Was good, was good. So yeah, I used to have the same question that bro was talking about, you know what I'm saying, why you need the basically the paperwork to show, you know what I'm saying, your credentials or whatnot to get hired for the job. Well, I was more of the type, you know what I'm saying, I was more of a hands-on and like knew I could do it and would always be like, well shit, bro, why do I gotta, you know what I'm saying, go to all this schooling and everything, man, and I could do this shit just like old boy that just graduated, if not even better. I was like, I don't want to do all that school and do all that type of shit. I mean, I just want to get to it. And that was the ding, ding, ding part. You know, that's what they want to see. They want to see you go to school or complete something. You know what I'm saying? That paperwork shows that you went, completed it. You know what I'm saying? And you made the shit happen. Anybody can probably, you know, just maybe do the hands-on work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can be like, yeah, you can be taught that, but we want to make sure that you gonna come to work every day. You know what I'm saying? That you can interact with people. You know, all that shit come into play. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody kind of broke it down to me like that, it really made a lot of sense, man, because I was looking at it more through a lens of this shit's a waste of time. But you know, if I'm the person that's gonna be the one hiring, you know what I'm saying, I would definitely want to make sure that the person that I hire, you know, went to school, you know what I'm saying, had, you know what I'm saying, a good track record in going to school, wasn't always absent or whatnot. You feel me? Like that all reflects on how they gonna be with the job description, you know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how, you know, that was just my take on that. That's kind of how somebody broke it down to me, man, because I was really against it, you know what I'm saying? But what she said, you know, it shows success and everything. And makes things a little bit easier, man, for that person to hire you.
Man, that's a fact, Riggs. Definitely, definitely. For real, for real. You know what I mean? But sometimes some of the paper they be asking for some of these degrees, it be kind of up there. I'm like, man, you want me to pay how much for this? Like, what's the student
Right.
loan guarantee? Like, wait, wait, what 20
Right.
what? I mean, like,
And then
wait,
you
hold on, you
in
want,
debt and
huh?
shit.
And I don't
Sis, you got
think
anything
people
for us before I go to Grizz?
I don't think people really know. Like, when you're on a job and like you have those managers that always like kind of pick on people, and they're like really micromanaging your job, or always over you, or always saying like you should do it like this or do it like that. They do that because they've seen the resume you submitted. They've seen, your educational background. So they're like, oh, well, I know this person probably has a temper, or I know I can emotionally trigger them because they may not have their emotions in check. So they don't have any proof that you know how to gauge a room or things of that nature. So they feel like they can get under your skin and get you out of there. And I don't think people really know the mind games that management plays. Like, when I was getting my MBA, a part of one of our leadership classes was identifying like employees and how to break them into categories of success, same as they do with kids in school, like the prison school to prison pipeline ordeal. It's the same type of metrics they use at jobs as well. And that's how management basically comes at people. Like, if they see you went to school and you kind of an introvert, they're not really going to give you much of a headache. But if you submitted your resume in like a crazy font, and like it looks like someone it's on pink paper or blue paper, they're gonna come at you all sideways and always be in your mix, like checking up on you double. And in your head, it's like, do they think I don't know how to do my job, even though I know I can do it better than the guy that went to school for this? You know, it's always going to come back down to typecasting people, stereotyping people, and ultimately trying to make people feel small until they basically give up or quit or just be like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, that's game.
That's a fact. Grizz, you got something else, bro, that you wanted to chime in on?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny we're talking about jobs right now because I actually have two jobs on Tuesday right now. I got two job interviews on Tuesday, um, and I'm currently training for another one. But yeah, I just felt because I just feel like the job system has not changed in over 100. Like, well, the way they do things has not changed in over 80 to 100 some years. They still have like the 1980s mindset where it's like, come be a robot, don't ask questions. I didn't pay you to think. I paid you. I paid you just to work. Why can I have your phone? Sorry, give me a second. Hey, Mr. Best, come back to me, bro. Come back to me.
Well, well,
Yes, sir.
the
Okay,
with the
okay.
job, with the intellectual and system, where it comes down to the when it comes to working on that and the working system, it's like a modern day slavery. So what it is that people don't understand that they still are working for the man, like they used to say back in the days. The way how that you truly are going to get this leadership with the business right now, you have to go into with a mindset of being independent. You know what I'm saying? Don't go by what the mass mainstream media wants you to be in a box, because they want you to follow their sponsorship. They want you to get their schooling through their college, but you want to do it on your own and be independent. And that's how you're woke. That's how I learned to be woke, is by doing it independent. That's the best way as individuals nowadays in the world. Yeah.
Mm, most
You
definitely,
can't
most
play.
definitely.
You can't play into it, because if you play into the way how the work system is, it's an indoctrination, bro. It's an indoctrination. You have to be independent and say, you know what, I'm going to start my own way, and then bring my people on, and then that will bring you on to a point where you truly touch the people, and it's happening. A lot of people like why they don't cast no stones on themselves or having the judgment on themselves without the piece of paper. It's because we still intellectual. We just don't. I just didn't like the process of waiting to get in the piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the process. I don't have patience. I like to do hands-on training and get the basics down and then find success. And that way of thinking and seeing a lot of people around me do it like that, it worked. People have dropped out a lot in my family from school, but they still became successful. And it taught me a lesson like, okay, I can take the things that I learned in school, but I have to learn life so I don't be not successful. And it works. The independent work.
I definitely agree with you, Sincere. Like another way that African Americans can strive for success, especially this year, is through entrepreneurship and going at things independently, with the support of the community or other communities. But people fail to realize that even in entrepreneurship, there is a learning curve. Like you're going to have to learn how to operate your website. Even just getting on to do this live, we had a few technical difficulties. Like you have to have some type of wisdom or skill, to be able to navigate, even if you're working independently and not following the traditional route in life. Because at the end of the day, like different websites like Shopify, um, even if you host a blog on YouTube or through a website host like Bluehost or something like that, if you're creating your own content, there's definitely a learning curve in learning how to operate those systems and those platforms. Like Intellectual said, he's getting his tech certificates and different stuff. And I just want to tell you, brother, like Google certificates, they have a whole list of technical skills that you can get certificates in, as far as coding and extra stuff like that, that are valid, and you can actually get on with Google the more of them you take. But
I'll
uh,
tell you, I'll tell you, sister, in intellectual, what what touched my heart is when a lady said just by the way how you display communication with people, you're on a level like how a therapist would do it with somebody on the couch. And I says, that wasn't even my goal. My goal was just to talk to people. But she says that's the gift of learning. I learned how to do like what the psychologist and the therapist did by the gift of communication and talking, and it was the best lesson. Like I could sit down and do exactly what a therapist does because it's the transparency of talking to human beings, and I learned it. You know, and once you learned that, it taught me the best lesson in life that communication is the form to being successful.
I definitely agree, because the more you're able to express yourself, the more you're able to be understood. And a lot of times, relationships and friendships, and also business partnerships, end because of a lack of good communication. Like, if you can't tell someone, like, hey, I'm running late, or hey, I don't know how to do this, like, they're just going to think, oh, this person flaked, or they're a no call, no show, or they don't want to be with me anymore, or the list goes on in negative things that a person can feel, which ultimately lead to them feeling abandoned or rejected. Um, it all comes from a lack of communication or poor communication. Like people don't know how to express themselves without cursing sometimes. People don't know how to just talk in general in a calm way to other people when they're not being heard, or they're getting frustrated and angry because someone's not agreeing with them. And it all goes back to the home. Like, did your parents teach you, how to have a difference of opinion? And sometimes you're not always going to be right, and sometimes you're going to meet people that don't like you just because. Can you still navigate in a world where things don't always go your way? And communication is a big part of emotional intelligence, because you got to know when to say stuff and when not to say stuff.
I love communication. I love communication. It's one of the best tools I've learned in life.
Most definitely, most definitely. Let me give a shout out to the homie Bolo TV. Bolo, what's going on? What's going on? But yeah, like you were touching on, sis, and just like what Mimsy was touching on too in the comments. I mean, the comments, yeah. The education has to start at home, right? So it has to start out what a person learning from their home and at their home. You know what I mean? Whether good or bad, right? Because sometimes you can learn things that you ain't supposed to be doing in your house, right? your home, the people who are over you can teach you. Okay, I don't want to do what they're doing. I see how they treated me. I see how I grew up. I want no parts of that, right? So that education that you get from home on what to do and what not to do and how to live your life and what things are going to impact your life, that is huge. You know what I mean? So we definitely have to educate us. Get our education first from home, and definitely learn from the triumphs and from the mishaps and mistakes. You know what I mean, of someone else, right? So of course you want to learn from their blessings and the things that they got going well and the things that they know about, right? But then we also want to learn from when they mess up. You know what I mean? So that's definitely key. And then also, giving the kids the right tools, they need before they even get in the streets. You know what I mean? That is definitely an essential thing. So before they go to that book, before they even open a book, what I mean, just teaching them certain core values so that they're able to survive, right? And I think that's a really big part of just keeping people, in a way where they actually are able to constantly learn and use those things that are effective in learning. You know what I mean? I think sometimes where people get frustrated is when they feel like, okay, I'm learning these different things, or I'm learning these different skills. I went to school to learn this, to learn that, and I get out into the real world, right? And now everything that I've learned is of no good. You know what I mean? So I learned how to do this. I learned how to do this with computers. I learned how to do this with this. And I'm not actually out in the real world. And now nobody wants to hire me, right? Nobody wants to take me in. So I think sometimes people can get like frustrated when they're not seeing the instant results, right? Because we live in a microwave society, right? So if I just graduated and I was ahead of my class and I graduated with honors and all that, then I feel like, and I was going to school for law, I feel like, man, law firms should be calling me left and right. You know what I mean? They should have been, there as soon as as I left school. They should have automatically been lined up. You know what I mean? Sending me emails with job offers. You know what I mean? Because of everything that I've shown academically. But it doesn't work that way. It's still a process, even once you get that paper and you receive the education. So yeah.
You know what it was too, networking sister? It was the waiting process. All those years you have to wait to get that college degree. That's why I just went ahead and just tried to do my own thing, just worked. I just worked, never went to college, but you can still like find success. It was just more obstacles. Like when somebody came in with a degree, they got the job. But then once they see that, you put a little effort in, they do give you a chance without a diploma. So it works both ways. It works both ways.
Definitely, because they're seeing like you're building the loyalty to the company. They're seeing you working hard. They're like, let's pull this person up because we don't want to lose them to another company. And now we're down, a great employee. Because employee retention is a big thing. Like if you look at Amazon right now, their employee retention is high. Like people are leaving left and right. And it's not because of the pay. It's more so like they're working you like 10 to 12 hours a day, and then you only get like a 15-minute break. And I think from one person that was talking about it, they were like, when you try to walk off the floor, that's like 5 minutes to get off the floor. So you really only got 5 minutes of a break because you need 5 more minutes to walk back. So I don't think people are being realistic in the world when it comes to like some of these jobs. Like, yeah, you can get a promotion, but do they value you as an employee? Because one of the guys that works for Amazon, he has a whole TikTok dedicated to his employee life at Amazon. He made one video. He's been there 7 years, 3 years in management and 4 years as a regular package handler. They literally fired him from a TikTok video because he was like, you guys, please stop ordering heavy stuff. My back hurts. Like he was making jokes, and people that are disabled, rely on Amazon for dog feed or dog food, water bottles, heavy items. So it wasn't a joke well received by other people. So Amazon fired him, even though, you know, his account is why people applied and feel like, oh, Amazon may be a cool place to work or etc. So you got to be mindful of how important are you to the places that you work at and you dedicate your time to, that you're willing to spend time away from your family to build their companies up.
Exactly, because now, as we see, people are educating themselves in the workforce now too, right? Where people are going and they're basically going and becoming, you know, and basically free agents of themselves, right? They're basically taking their career and their work path in their own hands, with their education and in spite of, right? So we're seeing a lot of that. So I think that's essential. The work market field is definitely a lot more open and a lot more kind of cutthroat as well, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you see what people are trying to do, and you see how people are trying to move, right? And so you have to basically say, okay, well, I got the right credentials. I know this person. I got the right references. I got the right resources, right? You know what I mean? So now that I've achieved this education, now am I able to be a functioning human being, right? Am I able to function in society and adapt to the norms that I put, there? You know what I mean? So let me give a shout out to my man Simon Hector that just checked in. Simon, what's going on, man? Anything you want to add to the conversation?
Sorry. Yeah, nah. What's the context?
So we're basically talking about the educational system and why is it important, to have, a correct education if you're applying for certain jobs and positions and things of that nature. Why
Yeah.
do you need an education for them?
Okay, I get you. Okay, cool. I get this. Okay. I worked in the education system for about 10 years, right? Um and it kind of seemed like a money grab, to be honest. Um so when we're trying to educate our children and those that come like before or after us, we need to be very very careful in terms of just understand what it is, especially in London. Like, I'm from London, so it was a money grab in London. I'm not saying that was the same thing in the rest of the world. um but most of these teachers, my ex-wife was a teacher. They just get a degree and get in the classroom. That's what they do. So if we're ever going to think beyond that, in terms of going, okay, and this ain't like a bad on women. I'm just saying, if we're like, men do it as well. I've seen like pokey dotty, skinny friggy, like, in the classroom at the same time, and it is weird to me. Like, how can you be teaching our children, especially those with special educational needs? They had no clue. They had no clue of like trying to actually work with them or some stuff. Um, I don't want to be too long winded, but I'm just saying, um, education literally is in the home, man. Like, this whole um idea where we have a defeatist sort of, you know ideology around what our children are supposed to be and how they're supposed to come up is wild to me. um you know if my daughter turns around and does some stuff, I have to check her straight away. I ain't gonna leave that to when she's 18, 19, and then another man checks her, and then she comes back to me and goes, "Yo, daddy, we have a problem."
Mm, wow. So okay, so this is my question, right? Should we then, what I mean, should we then make people have to financially be unstable to even receive education, right? You know what I mean? Should they have to put themselves out, even with financially? Let's say it's too expensive, right? You know what I mean? Because we covered a lot of different aspects of this, right? So should financially somebody have to come out of their pockets, what I mean, in order for them to try to make money or to move further in their career? So definitely, sis, I'm gonna let you rock out first because this is your show. So I'm gonna let you rock out first, and then everybody else go after that.
Like, as far as paying for college, it's definitely a choice that people need to make economically, because you have to repay those loans if you're going to get loans, or if you're going to get scholarships you don't have to repay those. But when it comes to, is it worth it financially, a college degree versus not having a college degree can sometimes impact whether you're a low income person versus a middle class earner. And we see this like in different metropolitan cities in the United States. Um, it was a graphic that I sent you earlier, intellectual, about um, middle class earners and like the low spectrum of it and the upper class spectrum of it. How much people are making based on having a degree or not having a degree. And I know that Simon was speaking of teachers, like pay grades go based on educational level. Police officers also get paid based on educational level. A lot of those jobs that are essential to the community, whether they're saving lives or raising the future, our future kids, and shielding their lives, whether they're special needs or just kids that are in class. Those things factor in when you're looking at it from an economic standpoint, because 9 times out of 10, if you're from poverty, most likely you're going to stay in poverty, until the end of your life, unless you make different strides to change that for you and your family. Like if you're born into a middle class family, more than likely you're gonna be a middle class person. Unless you just lose your way by drugs or bad relationships or whatever the case
No,
may
well,
be.
can I speak to you, sister, for a second? Like,
Sure.
the thing is like, okay, I'm trying to think about this in the most appropriate way, but it's just like, I'll start off with this, right? We hold people in authority to the highest echelons, right? We put them on a pedestal just because you got a qualification, just because you're in a uniform. We're supposed to abide by what you're talking about for some strange reason, okay? Because this is what goes on in society. It's like that person has the authority to pull you up. That person has the authority to turn around, do something to you that your counterpart can't. Although you may hold your counterpart in higher echelons to that person, like they've got nothing to do with you. This is the society we live in. You know, I think that's wholly problematic, because if you've ever lived with a police officer, if you've ever lived with a teacher, if you've ever lived with any of these people that when you go into primary school, secondary school, college, university, they're going, okay, these are the people that are going to protect you. Suddenly you're laying in a bed with them and they're not protecting you at all. That um throws the dices, right? It's like, yo, um this don't make sense.
So why do they, as you being a teacher, right?
Yeah, you got
Why
you got the YouTube on the background. You got to turn the YouTube part back off, bro.
I got it all.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got to turn the YouTube part off.
Oh, can you hear me?
Cause you got. Oh yeah, you good now.
Okay. So when you're going through high school, elementary school, how come that is all free from having a teacher, but then when I go to college, why do I have to pay for the knowledge? Why do I have to get charged to go through college? That's
You
where
know,
the connection.
something I teach my child is nothing is for free. So, like, you got that wrong from the outset if you're thinking or been taught that everything is for free, because nothing is
Mhm.
for free. Someone's paying for it, and you got to work out how that's being paid for. So, the fact that you speak English is being paid for. Do you realize that?
No, what I'm saying is
You
that
don't. You don't realize that. Okay, fine.
It
listen.
comes from the government, sincere,
Right, it comes from the
government
government.
funded.
Right, it comes government funded. But why is anybody in the poor communities have to pay for schooling? That's why I'm saying the school system is a corruption. The schooling should be free completely across the board.
No, you got
Because
that twisted. You got that
why
twisted.
not?
I'll explain
That,
to you, right?
okay, the high school was free and the elementary school was free. But when we get to
No, it's
college,
not free. Look, it's not free,
it
bro.
is. It's the
It's not.
taxpayers that pay for the school.
Nothing's for free. Period. Like you think it's for free, someone's paying for it. You can't say things are for free. It's like, in the UK, like I'm from the US, I'm from London, right? So we have the NHS, for example, right? So people will say that's a free health system, but it's not, because I work, and at the end of the day, it's deducted from my wages. There's a percentage of tax that is deducted from my wages that goes towards actually employing them people, the nurses, the doctors. And every time I want to roll into like A&E, if I got my foot shot off or something, nothing is for free. Don't work like that. It's set up to make you understand that, and this is where we become enslaved in our mind, because you seem to think that, like, you know because they're telling you that is okay, but it's not okay at all.
No, when I'm in elementary school and I'm in high school, I didn't have to pay student loans and nothing like that. When I get to college, now
Did
I
you
have to.
see? Wait, bro. I don't want. Look, you just said you didn't. You
I did
didn't
it.
have to. You didn't have to
No,
pay off student loans. So it's a
there was no
loan,
debt.
right?
There
It's
was
a
no
loan.
debt. There
Yeah,
was
but
no
it's a
loan.
loan.
There was loan in elementary school. Right? So there was no loan. Only when I get to college, when I have this debt now, where I have to pay back for loans and grants and
So
scholarships and stuff like that.
ultimately, you're paying back, right? And this is what I'm trying to
No.
say to you. I'm just saying nothing's for free.
Mm.
You can't turn around and go, I had to pay back a student loan and go, it was for free. It may have felt like that at the time, where it's like, okay, I don't have to pay it back right now, but ultimately, you're gonna have to pay it back. So it's not free, right? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say like it's right or wrong. I'm just saying like we don't really understand this stuff. This is like currency dynamics.
Like for instance, if you're, I get where
Sis, your mic is low.
public school is offered, whereas
Your mic is low. Your mic is low.
oh, I get what Sincere is saying. Like public schools, parents aren't required to make payments versus going to private schools where
Exactly.
you have to pay. It affects the quality of the education. That's why payments are required for private school and not public school. And when you get to college, if you're from a public school, your main goal is to be at the top of your public school so that you don't have to get a loan.
Nah,
So
nah, that's still wrong. Like, I'm not trying to look. I'm just saying. I've worked in education for a while. The fact that you even turn around and say that public school is for free is wild. Like, because public school is not free. Someone's paying for it. You may not think that. Look, if I take my daughter to nursery, right? At that, like, from nursery to preschool, I've got to pay for it outright. Why do you think the government does not allow for that to be sort of like a token, which is what you're talking about, basically? Not you personally. I'm just saying, like, most people talk about it in a token sort of perspective. Then you get into school from like 5 years old upwards, and you seem to think it's free because your mother's turning around or your father's turning around and dragging you down there, and they're going, okay, you need to get an education, but someone's paying for it. Who do you think's paying for it?
The tax
obviously the
dollars.
taxpayers are paying
Right.
a percentage of that, as well as the government. Like locally, we just took $150 million out of the local school system in my city, for various reasons. So the money comes from the government and from taxpayers. And it doesn't even come from the government. It comes from taxpayer dollars paid into the government, actually. It's all a system. So
It comes from you.
You know what? You know what the sad part about this whole conversation is that we're just lost to reality of what the real problem and issue is. And the real problem and issue is that we're not educating our children ourselves. It's like with no money, none of this shit wouldn't even be an issue. We educate our children ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? And
That's facts, bro.
we already know that 85 to damn near 95% of everything we learned in these public schools from college, we don't even use in our reality.
Mm.
You know, so educating our
Yo,
children.
I'll give you an example. Right? I tried to
Hold
homes.
on, Simon. Let him land his plane. Then you can rock.
Okay.
Yeah, having this stuff, the majority of this stuff we don't really use in our reality. You know, we use basic math, we use basic reading, half of the words we learn, and you know what I'm saying? Unless we in a certain profession, a certain career toward, you know, it calls on us to use certain skills, you know, advanced skills, but the majority of us in reality, we really don't use all this stuff we use in public school. So we really shouldn't even be sending our kids to public school. We can send our kids right at the house and teach them how to add, subtract, how to read, pronounce words, syllables, the thing that they really need to survive in life. You know, and really, we need to teach our children more common sense than sending them into school, getting this so-called education. You know, yeah. And I land with that. I land with that, fam.
Thank you,
I'll
fam.
give
Thank
it.
you, man. I'm glad you
I'll give
came up
it.
too. Hold on,
Yeah.
Simon. Let me get to this comment real quick, and I'm gonna let you cook. Salute to Same Old Gossip Reheated. Salute. Make sure y'all like subscribe to like the Same Old Gossip Reheated. Now I mean, she giving a salute to Smitty. Now I mean, I know Smitty's tuning in. I know he's with family right now, but yeah, salute to you, sister. Thanks for tuning into the network and to the family. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Simon.
Um, I tried to homeschool my daughter, right? And I came across so much backlash. It was crazy because the way they sort of framework shit is crazy because it's not to your advantage. They don't want you to homeschool your child. They want your child in school. Now that made me question things. I was just like, yo, what? Why is it that you feel that I'm so uneducated that I can't teach my child in school? Now, I had a whole backlash, like in terms of like, you know, they were putting up all types of people around me. You know how they do that slight shit.
Did the
Like
backlash cause you to put your kids back in the public school?
they were trying to pull up some trash on me. Like it was this yo, like just based on the fact that I was just like trying to go, okay, your schools ain't good enough. You know what I
So
mean?
that should let you know you're on the right path because you're getting that backlash. You know, you got opposition now. That should let you know that you're doing
I'm a
something right.
qualified teacher. I'm a qualified teacher. Like so, at the end of the day, they were like, "Yo, I don't even want this guy turning around and making like a mockery of our system." You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like in a minute, it wasn't even like I was trying to come up against them. I was just like, "Yo, your schools ain't good enough." I put my daughter in like 2 3 schools, like, and she got injured in the playground. And I was like, "You're incompetent, you dumb motherfuckers." It's like, and at the end of the day, I've got to live with that. She's got the scar on her face. You don't care. You really care about
Yeah,
this?
you know, we got to think about everything that we went through as a child going through public schools. You know, that's where we got the most bullied. That's when a lot of children get the most bullied. You know, they get in the most fights. They get the most disrespected.
Nigga.
You know, they pick up bad influences from other children. You know what I'm saying? It's like school is really the most toxic place you could be in. You
I
know?
literally had the headmaster rip out my earring from my ear. From like literally.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And this was allowed. This was allowed. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like he was cool. He had no sort of like, oh, you know, my mother came into the school and she was like, yo, my son's bleeding. Like you ripped the like earring out out my son's ear that I just put in there yesterday. And he was like, yeah, he's got to learn. I was
Um,
like, you white motherfucker. Look, I ain't even playing with these fools, but I don't even want to do this.
yeah,
I
I have
I
three
swear
children.
to God, man.
I have three children, and I've been homeschooling my children for the longest. But for the last year or so, me and my children mother, we've been separated. So now, due to her work schedule, she put the kids back in public school. And ever since they've been in school, all three of them, I got two daughters and a son, 15, 13, and 11. And all three of them have got into the more fights than they ever been in. My daughter's got to fight with boys. My son got to fight with girls. That's crazy. You like girls trying to
No,
fight him.
it's not. Yeah,
I
but
got
you
to
gotta
teach them
watch
how
it.
to deal. It's
You
like
gotta
they're going
watch
through
it.
so
You
many
gotta watch
traumatic
it.
situations in public school, and then they're dangerous. You got right now in this day and age, man. You got these kids coming to school with guns, knives. It's murders. No, I'm seriously. My daughter. Like I said, she's 15, and a murder happened right up there at the school.
Mmm.
And
Mmm.
that shit fuck with her, just being so close to it. You feel me?
For
So,
real.
yeah,
So
I
that's
think we definitely should go back to homeschooling.
that's a question right there, right? So sis, go ahead. I was gonna ask a question, but I'm gonna let you respond to what they're saying, and then maybe you'll answer my question by your response. So go ahead.
Like, I don't know if y'all remember, like, during the pandemic when everybody was at home. I think those moments that everyone had with their kids definitely laid a foundation for how many parents want to go forward as far as educating their kids, because the dangers of public schools is relevant. Like, it's just so prevalent today that people are coming on campuses shooting kids. Like, in Nashville, we had someone come on a campus, a transgender lady came on campus shooting up Christian kids. Like, so we made legislation in Tennessee to basically ban certain, individuals from campuses. Like, real bills and legislation have gone into law trying to block gun violence and things of that nature. But it also goes back to the homes. Like, if you're listening to rap music where they're showing guns, the kids are not gonna think anything of seeing a gun. They're gonna want one. They're gonna join gangs. They're gonna try drugs. It all goes back to the homes. And I really feel like when the pandemic was happening, we all got a chance to reset. And unfortunately, you know,
Yeah.
it's just changed again. Like, we're back into the old swing of things. And I think we need to dial back just a little bit to how it was before.
Yes. I totally agree with the sister. I totally agree with the sister 100%, man. Yeah, no time during the pandemic, it really gave us, the time we needed with our children, to sit there with them, to really get to know them, and to spend time with them for real. And that made a difference with a lot of these children out here. They got a lot of attention that they weren't getting at one point in time. We was locked in, they was locked in, and it definitely helped with a lot of children. I can see the difference when they came up out of the pandemic. You feel what I'm saying? They were more playful, wasn't nobody fighting. It's like the longer we've been out of the pandemic, the more we went back into our savagery. You know?
Oh, no, we can't say that. We can't say we got
Yeah,
back into savagery. But
yeah,
yeah, at the same time, I agree with you. To be honest, like because
yeah.
Mm.
It was
Let
more
me let me
unity, like,
let,
yeah. Go ahead.
let me say this. Let me say this. Cause it's funny since you already answered the question. Cause I was about to ask about is the school system safe? You already answered it already. So you know what I mean. You answered the question before I can even answer. Before I even asked it. But um, but yes, I think that's a concern, right? You want to send your kids to an environment that's safe and that's going to be productive, right? Because you're sending them there essentially, to learn, right? You're not sending them there so that they can fight, so they can basically almost be deleted or possibly be deleted, right? You know what I mean?
right.
You're not sending them for that for none of that. You send them there so they can learn, and they can better themselves and get an education. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And when that's not happening, there's other factors that are coming into play. Now it completely changes everything, right? Because now it's like, can I trust this person supposed to be a professional to really teach my child? You know what I mean? Can I really trust them? You know what I mean? To really do the right thing? Are the books that they are You know what I mean? That they are basically giving. You know what I mean? And yes, I know the Niners. One salute to the Niners. You know what I mean?
Woo woo.
You know what I mean? Like, are the books that they're giving. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, is that gonna suffice with what they're gonna need? You know what I mean? When they get out into real society, right? So they're giving them these books, right? They're giving them all these different things that they need, right? But am I the books that you're giving them? Like, are you filtering the history, right? Because are you giving you're not really giving this child the full history, right? You're giving them details of things you want them to learn, or details of what you want them to perceive, right? So yeah, I'm gonna teach you that so and so, discovered this country, or discovered, this part of the world, or whatever, right? But I'm not gonna teach you that they enslave people. I'm not gonna teach you that they rape women. I'm not gonna great women. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna teach you that they they castrated the men. I'm not teaching you none of that, right? I'm teaching you the things that I want you to learn. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the systematic error goes in. Because our kids, I'm talking about our kids, I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about our community, right? Our kids, kids of color, they're only learning, especially in America. I don't know what they do in UK, Simon. I have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend like I know, because I don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know here in this country, you know what I mean, everything is filtered, right? You can't even get certain books. Even as an adult, there's certain books that you can't get. There was one book I was trying to get, and I had to wait to get it for a long time. Like, the book was on YouTube at one point, and I just had to wait and wait and wait. And then finally, Amazon allowed me to get it. And then when I got it on Amazon, I had to pay like this crazy amount of money. And that book was it was the ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Wesley, right?
Mm.
And I had to basically go through hell and high water to get this book. And I'm like, dang,
Mm.
like, is this book really that bad? You know what I mean? And then, like,
Mm.
when I started reading it, I was like, okay, this is why they didn't want me to have this book. You know what I'm saying? So we know
Yep.
that as an adult, if things are filtered, then we know the children have things filtered. But sis, go ahead and rock out. Then I'm gonna go to brother Cam. Then I'm gonna go to Simon. Then after that, we're gonna get up out of here, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you can go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just want to say, and another part of putting our kids in school is this: we're giving our power and authority away. You know what I'm saying? To the teachers that we supposed to have with our children. We're telling our children for 8 hours of the day, you did what I'm saying, to listen to these strangers, do what these strangers say. You know, if you disrespect these strangers, you do it, you will get in trouble by me. You get punished by me. These people are right. You know, so what these people could be telling them everything totally different from how you want your child to be raised, what you want them to be exposed to. You know what I'm saying? Their whole cycle, but you telling them, hey, look, listen to these people. You know, these people got all power and authority over you. So and that's really their whole life, all up through school, college, whatever, go to college and listen to these people. So that's why our kids don't respect us. That's why when we try to tell our kids something, they'll look at us crazy. We try to tell them what's right, but if the teacher didn't tell them this was right, you did what I'm saying? It ain't right. Cause we telling them to listen to what the teacher say. We giving them the power. Hey, look, what we half of the time we don't even know what the teachers exposing them to. My daughter came home with a little rainbow braid. I'm like, what? The teacher talking to her about sexuality and things like this.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
like, where you get the? They got a transgender story time. They
Mm-mm.
implement within the schools. You know, and it's like it's hard to try to deprogram your kids, from things they've been exposed to by the teachers, by the educators, when we telling them to listen and to obey these people, and these people are right, you know, and we punishing them for not believing in the teachers or not, you know what I'm saying, or not listening to them. So we're creating this society of children that don't respect their parents because, they're respecting the system. You know? So yeah. That's all I wanted to say. We giving our power and our authority away over our children by giving it to, you know, these strangers, these people.
And
You
Cam,
know?
to piggyback on that, you do know, like, if you really think about the 24 hours in a day, your kids spend most of the day with the teachers.
Yeah.
Like, and also I don't think people really take into consideration that 9 times out of 10 when your kid gets harmed at school, the teacher is in the room. The teacher is knowing what's going on. Like if your kid getting bullied, when do teachers really call parents and be like, hey, I really think we need to have some type of intervention because this is happening in the classroom, and are you speaking to them about how to defend themselves or how to address certain things? That's not happening.
No, at all. So now kids don't even feel safe. They don't feel like we're their protectors. You know, that's why they feel like they gotta protect themselves. Yeah,
Yo, white people don't rock like this, right? So the thing is like I done the same shit. Like I sort of thought about it for a while, right? I was like, yo, um, I'm gonna get my child into a school where I know the head teacher. Now suddenly shit changes. Like we try to always act black too much. I'm not being bad about it. I'm just saying like we gotta stop acting too black because
What
white
does that
people don't
mean?
operate like that. White people don't operate like that. They're in each other's pockets. Um, you don't get the same results. Um, as I said, like I brought my daughter through about 3 schools, and I couldn't cooperate with those white people, but at the same time, like they were leaning towards it. But I moved her out of the school, and now she's in the school where it's like I know the head teacher. They don't play that shit. Although, like, she's like a 1%er in the school, meaning that there are no other black people there. You get what I'm saying? So we need to really figure this shit out, and play their game. Don't play our game. Don't try and play our game all day long. Like,
I
that's what
say
I've
I
got to
say
say.
we need to go back to ancient culture and tradition. You know, educating our own children, raising our own children. We used to have rites of passages. To where even a young girl went through a rite of passage. It's just one of young men. You know,
Mm.
both of them had to be taught. The young men had to be taught how to be men. You know how to be strong warriors, educated. You know, protectors. You know that was a part of our rites of passage. Then the women had to learn how to be women. You did what I'm saying? How to cook, clean, take care of the man. You know, womanhood. You know, our children now
what
they'll
what
go
I-
through
what what
school.
what what
They'll
what
go
I'd
through.
say to you is that would naturally actually happen. Like I'm dealing with a chick right now. She's not on YouTube or anything. She's from the African continent, and she is so submissive. It's crazy. Like to a point that I even don't really understand it. Every time I have a conversation with her, like she's respectful. Like there's no arguments. If I say some stupid shit, she even turned around and said the same thing that most people on YouTube were saying. She's like, "Oh, Sam, you're drunk." Like, but when she responded to me, she was like, "Yo, just figure that shit out." It wasn't sort of egregious. It wasn't sort of trying to be sort of entertaining or stuff. She was just like, "Yo, I could tell you were drunk." You get what I'm saying? Like, don't speak to me like that again. And I respected her for it. I was like, "Yo," you get what I'm saying? All right, I get that shit. I'm not gonna be drunk talking to you about it ever again. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I respect you. Now, she's a lawyer, so I was just like, yo, I gotta hold you to a higher esteem. Like, because we got some business to do with. Do you get what I'm saying? And I guess that's the sort of difference. Like, people just like I've gone on YouTube for a while and fucked around. But if a woman comes into my life like that and she's just like, yo, on my same level, I'm like, I ain't playing around no more. That's the bridge, right? That's the bridge. Especially like I'm not just talking about women. It could be women for men. Like if a woman sort of understands how you know they're relationship is gonna go, they're gonna understand that they've got a certain type of level, right? This is what they're talking about. But I don't think they explain it like correctly and break it down. I don't even think they have the opportunity, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna go,
Yeah,
bro. I'm gonna
definitely.
go. I'm talking too much. I'm
No, no, no. I gotta close out
I'm
anyway.
talking too much.
I think,
I'm
Yeah,
talking
bro.
too much.
Good, fam. You good?
yeah, I think everybody's coming up. I definitely want to close. I definitely got to close out.
Um,
You know what I mean? And
Shout out to
Queen definitely.
Victor.
Queen, I'm meet you up in the backstage. You know what I mean? I'll meet you up later on. But I mean, I'll definitely talk to you later about about the show or whatever. Because I'm about to close out. I got some other stuff to do real quick. But yeah, y'all listen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right. You know what I mean? I
sir,
really appreciate
appreciate you
y'all,
letting me
man.
come up.
Hey, man, definitely, man. Thanks for coming through, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for
Sir,
showing me
peace,
love, man.
power.
Nice meeting
Definitely,
you.
definitely. Bye, y'all. And sis, man, I'll let you, roll with the closing arguments. And yes, we will be back not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. All right. So y'all got some minds, y'all got some time to get y'all, education and intellect on. All right. You know what I mean? And to definitely soak up what we gave y'all today. And if you have any topics that you want us to cover, you know what I mean, anything you want us to talk about, please definitely DM. You know what I mean? Send a message. You know what I mean? And definitely we will respond. All right. And definitely, after the show, if you want to leave a comment and say certain things, we definitely will love to hear what you got to say as well. But sis, anything you want to close with before I drop the outro?
Oh, just want to tell you thanks for the opportunity. I had a blast hearing everyone's viewpoints and opinions. And we have to do this again in a week. Well, basically like 2 weeks. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, y'all, you know what I mean? Salute to everybody. And we are out.
Take it.
Get it! Go, go, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast. Go fast, no! Why, bro?
I say everybody gon' score now when they out when they everybody takes one on the chin. You gotta learn to lose if you're down. Oh, you down the way they want to go, so we gon' do what they gon' do it again. Everybody gon' score now when they out when they everybody takes one on the chin. You gotta learn to lose if you're down. Oh, you down the way they want to go, so we gon' do what they gon' do it again.
I would rather roll my L's, keep pushing. I don't even like my seats with seat cushions. Now watch me rock 'em to sleep. They something in the stove like baker's man. Keep the heat in your house, keep that door shut, close it quick like your mouth. Froze, I don't wanna get fined, so I give it my all. I build the utmost trust, just give me the ball. Don't snatch it out my hands and still give me the fall. Switch at the last and ain't give me the call. See you playing with me, but I got no strings, so you got no pull. So I'm all off script like Benny the Bull. I'ma break the machine. Who's raging with me? Life in your face, got the whole crowd swaying with me.
Everybody goes go now when they out with me. Everybody takes one on the chin. You gotta learn.